Yes, the nasally
Ubu,
ubu.
the nasally ubu.
Okay, now we're going live on YouTube.
All right.
And we're up.
What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday night. It's 7 p.m. and it's time for episode 25 of Linux Tech and Gaming, the show that talks about gaming with that Linux twist, that Linux spin.
The way
We
you
got with
said that,
me,
though.
we got with
Gaming.
me, we got with me Osiris, the PC pimp, and we got the Atomic Ass. How are you guys doing tonight?
Feeling like
Still
crap.
sick.
Yeah, and I think Atomic gave me his cold. He tried kissing me in the Mumble server the other day, and now I'm
Oh,
getting all
Yes.
nasally. God dang it!
glad I
All
left.
right, right? He's like, I'm out of here. Oh man. All right, so how are our viewers doing today? Everybody sound off in the chats everywhere. The 4 chat boxes that are everywheres. So we're live on Twitch, we're live on Hitbox, we're live on YouTube, and we have an IRC channel
It's
if you do that kind of thing.
there.
And
Yeah,
I might have just lied. If we're
down there.
not live on one of those, I apologize. Go to the one we are live on. So we have a great show planned for everybody tonight. We have some brand new CryEngine information. That's right. I said CryEngine. That's the what runs the Crisis game. In the background of the Crisis series is the CryEngine. It may just be coming to Linux, so stay tuned for that information.
Might want to post the
And
link in the doc.
um, we have fire alarms going off. Just disregard those.
Whose house is burning
And
down?
right, it's not my house.
My house is burning down, but it's all good.
It's all
It
good.
happens.
Continue the show. Yep, it happens. All right. So we got a lot of great topics, basically, for the show today. And as I said, I'm excited. The first segment we usually go into is Atomic's Linux game pick of the week, but we do have a few little topics from last week that I thought maybe we could just touch on because we talked a lot about 4K gaming and the 750 Ti, I believe Atomic did. So do you just want to just kind of wrap up or just fill everybody in from a little bit of the information that we shared last week?
Yeah. So if you're not aware, I bought a 4K monitor, and at the time I had a 750 Ti graphics card, and you can display 4K on a 750 Ti no problem because if you get the correct card, because most of the 750 Tis don't have a display port. So you might be restricted to 30 hertz if you don't get the right card. But the particular one I had, the AVGA ACX for the Win edition, had a display port. And so I managed to do 60 hertz 4K. That's 3840 by 2160, not the 4096 jazz. It displays okay. You know, it's very usable for a desktop. Gaming, if you're doing light gaming, maybe some RTS games that aren't terribly graphics heavy might work well. But anything with any kind of graphics to it is going to be cinematic at best. So
That
this is
that Ubisoft cinematic experience.
yes, it is Ubisoft's recommended graphics card for all of their games running at 4K.
All
Uh,
right.
it does run into some major problems though, such as Team Fortress 2. It has enough power in the GPU cores to actually run TF2 maxed out at 4K at 60 hertz, but it runs out of VRAM.
Oh, and you can't be running out of that VRAM.
No, that causes it to tank.
That's a problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah, it ran at 60 hertz for a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, like 10 or 15 seconds, and then it just all went to hell. So,
Huh.
yeah, if it had 3 gigs of VRAM, which I can't see them putting 3 gigs of VRAM on there because you don't need 3 gigs for 1080p, and this is a 1080p card, it would do all right at 4K in Team Fortress 2, but
Yep. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we pretty much covered we covered that a little bit last week. I'm pretty sure, or maybe we didn't. I don't know if we talked about the 4K gaming and the 750 Ti. If we didn't cover it last week, we just covered it right now. So he basically told you, it may work for some games, but you're going to run out of VRAM in some other games.
yes.
So if you want that 4K gaming, the 750 Ti is probably not. If you're on a super heavy budget, then sure, give it a whack, give it a try. But you're probably going to end up being disappointed and then spending more money anyway. So just save the money to begin with and get the card that you want right away.
I was gonna say, realistically speaking, who's running a 750 Ti for 4K except
Right.
for Atomic? Because he's like,
right, yeah. Well, because we're enthusiasts, so we do all sorts of weird things like
Yes.
that. So it's I think it's awesome information that he can share that with our viewers, and hopefully they appreciate that type of information, because I don't know how many guides or Tom's Hardware articles or whoever's articles are out there about 4K gaming with the 750 Ti. I'm sure not very many.
I don't think anybody's even tested 4K gaming on the 750 Ti, and largely that's because there's only one card, to my knowledge, that even has a display port on the card, which you need for 60 hertz.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, moving into our first topic here, we have, we do Atomic's Linux Game Pick of the Week, and we were actually going to. I suggested that we do Gear Up at the recommendation of a viewer of ours, and what happens when we fire up Gear Up on Steam? It's a free-to-play game. The game decides to start up in the center of my 2 monitors, and then I'm like, okay, that's okay, I guess. Let me move it over to this monitor and make it full screen. Then I go to make it 1080p, and it just just closes. Then I reopen it, and I'm starting to mess with the thing again, and now all of a sudden it goes full screen, but only half of the game is shown on the right side of my rightest monitor, and I'm just like, okay. So basically, we're not. Atomic said nope on the Gear Up, because I don't know what they did to it. They messed it up. So this week we have The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Go for it,
Yes, we
Atomic.
do.
What do you got? Yeah.
So if you've never played The Binding of Isaac, the original, it was a Flash game that was made into an executable and put on Steam. And it had all of the attendant problems. Now, this is a game that screams out for controller support, and it was nowhere to be found in the original. And of course, it was Windows only. That's a bit of a problem. Although it did run on Wine with no problems.
yeah, ran fine. Probably mostly because it was Flash.
Yes. Yes, that
Okay.
that had a lot to do with it. But it would also have frame rate drops. Now, keep in mind, this is a game that's running at a 4:3 resolution in a window at 800, 600, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a kind of different type of graphics like that, or lower res. Yep.
Yeah. And even on hot cards, it would still lose its frame rate because it's Flash, it's CPU bound. Well, they came out with the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which is basically just a recoding of it for an actual proper game engine. And it's basically the same game with some new tweaks added to it. The graphics are better. It has controller support. It has some slightly redesigned level mechanics and some other little niceties. But the gameplay is overall exactly like the original Binding of Isaac. Now, if you've never played Binding of Isaac is a roguelike dungeon crawler-ish kind of thing. And you play as Isaac, whose mother spends all day watching Christian broadcasting. I mean, there's a cutscene at the beginning of the game that tells you the whole story.
That probably takes place in the South somewhere.
Yes.
It could be.
Yes.
I actually was given the game by a viewer, a fellow friend of the show, and I have to say it was my first experience with the Binding of Isaac series or games, and controller. That was when I was still a controller peasant, and the controller, the Xbox 360 controller, which is right here, it's an Afterglow version. It worked straight away. I mean, I had no issues. Now, I will say, right away, the guy, he watched me fire it up because I live streamed it, basically. Right when he gave it to me, I decided to live stream it to show him, I appreciated, him giving it to me. I went in and had to map the buttons, but, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, going in and mapping the buttons to each of how you want it or how it's normally set up is not that big of a deal, and it was pretty effortless. You just go to which one you wanted to map, hit the button, go to the next one, hit the button, and map each one of them, and then now you basically, he told me how to play the game, like which does what, and what button does this and that, because it would have took me forever to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But
I
think it was great. It worked really well. I mean, on my 760, it was a great game. I had a lot of fun. It's just one of those games that I'm glad it's in my toolbox or whatever. I'm glad it's in my library and I can play it whenever I want, and I do enjoy it. So.
Yep. The original game would only launch in a window, and it didn't have an option for full screen, I want to say. I could be wrong about that.
I don't think so, because that's the one I had.
Yeah. So the Rebirth actually launches full screen, and it's full screen window, so it doesn't play any funny business with your monitors if you have more than one, like most of us do these days.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. All in all, it's a pretty good game. If you've never played Binding of Isaac before, I would definitely recommend Rebirth over just the vanilla Binding of Isaac. It starts out at $15, but it's usually on sale.
And I think another statement or a point to make, based on your comment, I would say just for the simple fact that it's non-Flash. Rebirth was redone on its own engine. It's not Flash-based anymore. And so that's a huge selling point in itself, in my opinion.
Yes. And one other detail, if you have played the original game before, and you've played with and without the Lamb DLC, I'm forgetting the exact name of it. The Rebirth includes the Lamb DLC by default. And look at that!
Okay.
Look at those user reviews. Overwhelmingly positive. 14,861 reviews. Yeah.
Nice.
But we've got
14,000 reviews. Yeah.
Yes.
Holy cow.
We have that penguin there.
Yep. I got to see. You know what? I should really look and see if I gave it a review yet in Steam. I don't even have Steam open right now. What am I doing? I'm a slacker.
Now
That should just auto launch when I start my computer.
yes. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm reminded here of one of the user tags, is that it's one of those games where you can sit down, play a session, and then die, and then
Yep.
sit down and play another session some other time.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. That is a neat aspect of it. I will say that.
I'll,
It has like progression and levels and stuff, but it's not to the point where, if you're tired of playing, you don't have to stay on another 4 hours because you're at this one point and you just need to get a little further. It's not like that.
yeah. There are no save points. You don't save your game. I don't think. They didn't add that, did they? And I just didn't
I
notice.
don't. I've played it more than once, and I don't recall. Well, I mean, I'm not really sure what you mean. Like when I restarted, I think, yeah, my character was a fresh character. You're right. I don't think there is. You don't load a save or anything. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Glog in this chat could correct us or help us with this little detail here,
Yeah.
this minor detail. I forget because it has been a few months maybe since I played it last.
But
Okay, so he's saying if you log out. But anyway, it's definitely worth it. So he's saying it does save your last position. Okay,
if you haven't died yet.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a very solid game. I definitely recommend it.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So that's it for Linux. Atomic's Linux Game of the Week. And now,
Before we leave that topic, the reason that I have been chosen to pick a game of the week is that I have an enormous Steam library. And right now on the PCMR Reddit, they are discussing what would be the appropriate term for someone who has so many games that they're probably never going to play them all.
Atomic Ass. That's what it is.
I'm not alone in this. This is half of the PC master race that has this problem.
Okay. Yep.
My vote is for creosote syndrome.
Creosote syndrome. Okay, all right.
And if you've never watched Monty Python, you're just not going to get that gag.
Okay. All right.
Just go type into YouTube Mr. Creosote Monty Python.
All right. Excellent.
But what's going to be our first topic?
Well, last week we tried something new, and I think we'll do it again because I think it went over pretty well. And it's a hardware section or a hardware segment. And our resident hardware expert, Mr. Osiris PC Pimp. I mean, we're all very knowledgeable about hardware, but each of us have our own preferences for hardware and our own purchasing abilities and whatnot. We don't get cards thrown at us and hitting us like some other streamers and YouTubers. So, when we get hardware, it's purchased at our, and so Osiris has some topics he'd like to share with everybody today within this hardware segment. What do you got for us today, Osiris?
First, I would like to warn Atomic that when he opens the PC Gamer the PC Gamer link, it is a stupid advertisement video with sound.
I'm not seeing that.
Like
ad blocker.
Oh, okay. There you
yes,
go.
Yes, ad blocker is active.
Okay.
Well,
ad blocker is active.
It raped my ears and it wasn't cool.
Good warning. That was very considerate of you, Osiris, to warn before he went in there.
All right, so I don't know if anybody knows, but this 3.1 standard has been officially put out into the wild, and the first person or the first company to go ahead and gobble that up is ASRock or whatever it's called.
We'll go with Ass Rock.
Okay, ASRock. It sounds like some twerk dance or something, but
right, yeah, rock that ass.
So, as everybody knows, most of us probably have USB 3.0 on our boards, or at least the headers, depending on the age of your
I have all 3.0 I have no
I have
USB
USB
2.
1.1 and a
That's
few
'cause
USB 2.
Atomic is balling. We can't all be like Atomic in his 980 and 4Ks.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Do you want to know how many USB 3
He
ports I
probably has a
have?
USB 4.0 on his his motherboard somehow.
That's in the mail.
Yeah. That's in the mail. How many headers or how many USB ports do you have? That's
Okay. The motherboard has 6 on the rear. It has 2 separate header ports that support 2 plugs each. So that's 10 off the motherboard. I bought a USB 3.0 expansion card with 5 ports out the back and another header to put 2 in the front. So
nice.
17 USB 3.0 ports.
Oh my god. Are you shitting me? What? 17? Holy shit balls.
What are you
I
gonna
think
do
I
with
have
17.
I have 4, I think. That's it. Oh my gosh, that's
What am I going to do
insane.
with 17? My keyboard uses 2
Yeah.
Why?
because
Power?
Because
LEDs.
reasons?
Okay, yeah, okay, power.
Because the pretties.
The pretties. All right, so USB 3.1. It looks like it's going to be
So,
Oh, look at that keyboard. Holy shit.
Yes.
That was pretty.
So why is this important to anybody? Well, 3.1 is nearly double the speed of 3.0. Of course, for those people out there who have drives and thumbsticks and
That can
just
keep
things
up with
that
it.
need
Like
serious read-write or data transfer speeds, then this is good. Of course, everything progression, progression is good when we talk about this because if there's nothing out that can use it now, as soon as they release this, something will come out that can use it.
right? Yeah, that's pretty much how it works, right?
It has a 10 gigabit transfer speed.
Oh my gosh.
If that's
10
not enough,
gigabit. Yeah, that's
I mean, just imagine you can back up all your porn in a few
right.
minutes now.
Yeah. A few minutes instead of instead of an hour. Wow, that is awesome.
This will help definitely with SSD RAIDs and all that type of stuff. High definition cameras like DSLRs and stuff with high data rates, so you can get the full. I guess if there's 4K cameras out there, you might be able to stream directly to your computer with this type of
Interesting.
connection.
Yeah, that is the fact. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's huge for any external capture device. I mean, that's one of the major issues with live streaming now using open broadcast software is just the limitation of the USB bus. You know, it ends up causing latency or delay between audio and video feed. So then people end up having to add a delay to the audio there, and then that throws off the audio in the other thing, and people are really upset about live streaming using an Elgato, let's say an Elgato HD, the original one, which is only USB 2.0. Now, there is some newer, I think there is a few USB 3.0 by Blackmagic and stuff, some other external ones, but I think the way to go is if you're doing capturing of external sources, you want to go PCIe, and I kind of just took us off topic there a little bit, but that bandwidth transfer is crazy. 10 gigabit.
That's a very important point for this type of thing because a lot of people will want something like FireWire because of the data transfer speeds. This brings USB up to standard.
Was FireWire ever updated past 800?
I don't think it was.
Speaking of, here's a FireWire drive right here, Smart Disk Firelight by Smart Disk is what it says, smartdisk.com.
Now, they have also done some stuff with the connector for USB 3.1. Both the Type A and Type C connectors can now support 100 watts, and you can have power going in either direction. So there has been some talk or speculation, I do not remember which, about connecting laptops to desktops or phones to computers, whatever, and having actual charging facilities there.
Yeah. Fun fact here, FireWire is actually the connection that I used for my original console capturing of my Xbox 360. It was via FireWire. It was a something DV bridge. Darn it! Now I forget the name. But anyway, it utilized FireWire, and in Linux, it just works with FireWire. You just have to load, a particular module, which usually auto gets loaded. Once you plug in the FireWire device, the Linux kernel is smart enough to see that it's a FireWire device. And, originally Ubuntu and Linux had some issues because I believe that the device node was not read-writable. So you had to, chmod it and do some weird stuff. But I haven't used FireWire in a long time, I'll be perfectly honest. So I'm not sure how that stands nowadays. But I still have FireWire devices. I have it's a Dazzle. It's a Dazzle Hollywood DV bridge. And really what it was marketed for was to convert any composite connection, so red, yellow, and white. It would convert the composite connection into digital video, via the FireWire. So that's what it was originally marketed for. My father had purchased it to convert a lot of his Betamax porn onto his computer. And, it was a great little device. Come on, I didn't get any laughs from you guys? Wow. All right, go ahead.
To Tommy's point about the 3.1 and its new connector, this thing, just to make a note, it is backwards compatible, fully backwards compatible in standard and in physical, like.
The A connector is?
I think the C and A.
Well, the C is a new connector, so I don't think it would be.
Okay, then A then.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's good. Backwards compatibility. We could still plug in our USB 1.0 shit.
Right? Yeah.
The reason I was reminded of that is because somebody said something about Thunderbolt 2 in the chat. And
yeah, they said it transfers at 20 gigabit a second.
That's all fine and good, but Thunderbolt and FireWire are not popular, and USB is. And as long as they can keep this popularity and the compatibility going,
right,
it doesn't even matter what everything else is because everybody's using USB. Just think of it this way: when you get a phone or your friends come over with their phone, there's only one connector you need, micro USB.
Yeah.
You'd think that Intel would be pushing that shit because, Mac has rolled it out, but really Thunderbolt is a Intel thing.
Right. But
is it really? Okay, I don't know if I knew that.
And you mostly see it on Mac stuff.
Yes. I thought it was, I guess it is a proprietary connector, but, I know
probably
that,
license for it or something.
Right. I know that, like I said, Blackmagic has some, like Blackmagic Intensity Pro that you can use USB 3.0 with, and apparently that has the bandwidth that you need to, to capture raw HD video, and it is raw, so it's it's just like the xTorrent, I believe, in Windows, where you're capturing raw video feed, so it's huge file sizes and stuff. But so Glog just points out in the chat on Hitbox that Thunderbolt is point-to-point communication.
And in the topic of cameras over USB, there is actually a USB 3.0 webcam that is capable of what they call true 3K at 30 FPS. And it can also do 1080p. This is the Hovercam 3PO. I've never seen one of these in the wild, but supposedly it exists.
I wasn't even thinking about webcams, but that's a good point too. I was actually
holy shit
about DSLRs and
true
HD video cams.
Yeah. Oh, it's super speed USB 3.0, you guys. It's not just USB 3.0. It's super speed. Wow.
You buy into that marketing bullshit.
That's pretty cool. 360 degree rotating and swiveling camera head. What is this little device? How much is it?
Something
And
like
when are you sending
$300.
it to me? It does 2592 by 1944. Holy shit! Why don't we each get those webcams?
What's
We
the
just need a
price on
few
them?
more. Yeah, we just need a few more Patreons, and we'll each get one.
I want to hear the price because I bet
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
he said it was 300. He
Ah,
thinks.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, as soon as they send us 3 review units, we'll have them
Right,
running.
right, right. Yeah,
We're
test
gonna
it
need
out
you
in
to get that
Linux.
on that Ubu.
Make sure. Yeah, I'll send the email off right away to their PR department, their marketing department.
Yes.
um, but we all, or at least Atomic and I, have the Logitech C920, and that has a built-in encoder that allows it to do 1080p at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, but
So the heavy lifting is done in the camera, right? And then it's sent to the computer.
except it's kind of broken because right now I'm at 15 frames a second,
That,
and it only gets to 30 frames a second if I can actually, get the
The lighting correct?
yeah.
Or yeah, I know it's pretty sensitive in that regard. I will say that. You're right. But
but considering the price tag, even the
right,
MSRP
I paid.
price
Oh my
tag,
God, I paid like yeah.
it's
I had it.
damn
As,
good.
yep, I got it as a steal on Amazon. I think it was Techie Rod or someone, pointed out that it was on sale, and I just quick snatched that thing up for like $50. I was like, oh my God, you can't go wrong with this thing. The C920,
And it's regularly 70
It's
bucks for, or
right.
70, 80 bucks for those who are looking. And
Sure.
the MSRP, I think, was about 100, 110.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a beast of a camera for sure.
it's the only camera I can
Yeah.
recommend. All the other ones are just meh.
Well, I think the one that I have here, the C9, I'm sorry, the C260, does do 1280 by 720, and it is compatible with Linux, because I've heard many people talk about the C270, which people claim is the same, but I think there's something different about the hardware that makes it not the same, and it doesn't work as well. And I got that for $15, 15 US dollars off Newegg. It was a like blowout sale, So I have two of these C260s that do 720p video, and I mean,
Well, I was
if you're
speaking
serious
more,
about it,
Your
yeah, I know what you're
B-roll
getting at.
camera?
Yeah,
yeah, B-roll camera, something good like that.
sure. Yep. I mean, definitely, and that's what was being used to capture when I did my live stream of building the FedEx server box.
Yes.
That
Sure,
was the
just
camera
Skyping
that was
grandma
up
though,
in
that'd
the.
be awesome.
Which-
For 15 bucks, you can't lose.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly. That's pretty much why I bought 3 of them when I bought them, because I bought one for me, one for my ex, and one for. Oh, he's showing my
He's
stream.
gonna make a video.
Yeah. Go ahead and watch that video. Just put on double speed because it's like 2.5 hours. But
It's a great video though.
he puts a server in a cardboard box, and that's what you see over his shoulder here.
Yep, right here. This bad boy. It's an 8-core Opteron with 32 gig of RAM. Part
Professional
2.
case engineering right there.
Yep. Part 2 will actually be this Friday at 8 p.m. So,
Yes.
on my personal live stream channel, which is Ubuntu Addicted. We might, I might host it on Linux Tech and Gaming just for the lulz, but it's, on my personal one. So, let's get back on topic on the show here. We got our next topic is, Acer offers a gorgeous new FreeSync monitor.
Then I probably want to get it.
Right? I was just going to say that. How long until Atomic has it in his hands?
It should be out.
This is actually one of the ones I was looking at, I think.
Ooh,
Well,
1
NVIDIA
millisecond
they-
response time.
They had one that just like this, but it was G-Sync with the same model number. Don't ask me why that was like that, but
What's this? The XG270. What did I put
Yes,
in my
XG.
PC part picker?
but according to this article, there was a G-Sync version of this that was the same. But now there's a FreeSync version of this, and it comes. I know all the AMD people will like this in like this really gorgeous like crimson red type color. just to go with your AMD
Oh,
boxes.
it's not gonna it's gonna clash with my my gray
Your color
B326.
scheme? Yeah, it
Yes.
won't quite.
Yeah.
That's that's just a punch to the dick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why manufacturers, especially their flagship model stuff, will come up with these very specific colors, because that's a turnoff for I think a lot of people. But I don't know. Uh, everything's red these days. If you look at gaming equipment, I don't understand that either. But that's another thing. But it comes with nice specs. You got a 1 millisecond response time on it. You got some HDMI 2.0 port, dual link DVI, display port 1.2, blah blah, and obviously FreeSync or adaptive sync or whatever you want to call it. 2-watt built-in speakers that you should probably never use in your life. Um, and yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a really nice flagship model FreeSync monitor from what is it, Acer, not Asus, Acer. Uh, now, I think we talked about this before, but I believe this should work in Linux, no issues, no software needed. That I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The FreeSync?
Yes.
Uh,
It's completely hardware driven and controlled, or driver, like, I don't know how this.
right, but I think it still needs to be enabled in the driver. I could be
I
wrong.
would
Yeah,
kind
right.
of agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that that would be in the FGLRX drivers, or even
Yeah,
open
you would
source
think so.
ones.
Right. Yep.
Is it? Yeah, FreeSync is an open. It's an open standard, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we could actually. I know we talked about it on the show already once on whether or not G-Sync is a scam. You know, is NVIDIA scamming all these people? And I think it was an article on. Was it? I don't know if it was Phoronix or what website we found it on, but it basically just was. It was informing everybody about how the really all the G-Sync standard or G-Sync thing does that's on the monitor. It just is like an adaptive type sync, which is just like FreeSync. So um, whether or not you as a consumer feel that that is NVIDIA ripping you off or ripping people off, you know, I don't really want to get into all that. That's your decision to make as a consumer, whether you want to go with G-Sync or FreeSync. I mean, that's going to be up to you, obviously. So,
But
But we'll also say that FreeSync is cheaper and it's open standard and no proprietary hardware needed. And if you're using Linux, you probably don't like too much proprietary stuff, anyways.
right.
they updated the article regarding the model number confusion. And it reads, as it turns out, this isn't a second version of the XG270HU. This is simply the announcement where Acer revealed that the XG will support FreeSync.
Huh.
So maybe it
Okay.
supports
Okay.
G-Sync and FreeSync? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't quite understand, but maybe
Oh,
we missed something.
no. The XG
Oh,
supports
I see. Yeah.
FreeSync, and the XB supports G-Sync.
Man, that doesn't make any sense. First of all, you said the G supports FreeSync,
Yes.
but it has a G in it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, check
Whatever.
Mumble too. I linked you guys to, you know, the Omega driver actually added from what this article is saying on Tom's Hardware when they released the Omega driver. Now, I don't know if this is specifically only talking about Windows Omega driver or if this is the Linux one as well, but it does talk about, you know, including FreeSync and 5K support and, you know, blah, blah, blah when they released Omega.
Well, the 5K support, I think, goes back to something that Linus Sebastian mentioned. He had a little series of videos on using a iMac with a 5K display, and he tried it out for gaming just to say that he did, and it would only come up at 4K in Windows, and so that probably resolves
Oh.
it. Probably resolves the driver issue there where it couldn't get all the way up to 5K.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So with the open, what is it? What is it called? I can't remember the name of the new AMD drivers. When they come out with the 390 or whatever they're gonna call that new thing, those new fandangled thingies. This might be good. It would seem within the last year or so from the benchmarks and what I've seen that AMD is slowly but surely getting the Linux stuff in order.
yep. It seems that way.
Yes,
Good, yeah, quote unquote, or that's the key word.
yes, it does seem
Time
that
will
way.
tell what AMD, how AMD continues or doesn't continue to support us Linux gamers.
And if this works on Linux with no issues, that'll be a huge plus for AMD, at least in the public perception's eyes.
Yeah, I would
In the
agree.
eyes of public perception, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we got to move along here. It's already quarter two, which is fine, but we have our last topic under hardware, and it's something that Osiris uses quite a bit. I know that he recently built 2 parts lists for me for 2 of my clients or customers or people that have basically come to me and said, "Hey, I need your help building a computer. How do what should I buy?" Basically, and consumers are just overwhelmed because there's bam, 4 gigahertz, bam, 32 blahs, and 54 gigawatts, and it's just like a consumer, which I won't mention his name, but he's coming from console gaming, and he just knows, he opens his laptop and he goes to a browser and hits live stream and whatever. It's like that's all that he really knows, so he doesn't know anything about hardware, and he just wants a dedicated streaming box that can also game. So he asked me for my assistance, and I was like, yeah, man, we'll get you hooked up. So I go to the PC pimp, Osiris over here, and he puts together a list using PC Part Picker. They got a new look.
Yes.
That's basically what we just wanted to let everybody know about. They kind of refreshed their website, and it's got a cleaner, kind of newer type feel and look to it. I think it's pretty smexy.
The look is new, but the functionality I think is still out for a verdict.
Really?
Yeah, because
You don't like its functionality? I thought it was like the go-to.
I mean yeah. I mean, this is the site to use, but the way they had it before, it seemed like there was less clicks to do the same things.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
So what they
Okay.
did is they stacked functions under menus or sub menus.
Oh,
Gotta do some clicking. It's not
yeah.
bad. You'll get used to it, I guess.
Sure.
Just want to make that point.
Just a
Yeah.
little, yeah, you're being nitpicky, which
Yeah.
is fine. I mean, you use it all the time, so you're just informing everybody about your experience. I know I have a person at my day job who does IT stuff, and he was telling me that you never want to bury something under like past 3 clicks, or I mean,
Yeah.
that's just what he says. And now I'm
This
not
is how
saying
that
that's
feels.
correct. Yeah, I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just saying that was his statement
That
in
is
regards to how you hide or store things, like in folder structures or in like what you're seeing here. If you have to go to menu under menu under menu under menu, it's just like you should possibly rethink the structure of everything so that it's not so many clicks.
This,
You
this
know.
is, and this is exactly how that feels, and
Okay.
it is exactly correct. When you're building website designs, you do not want to make the user feel like he's navigating like some Google Maps.
Yeah, where it's not intuitive or it's super buried, right?
Don't
That's
take
just not good.
don't take your web design from Rogue.
Right.
But other than that, on the other hand, though, they did add some nice touches to the site. The functionality is better. There's more functionality. It has a weird way of displaying results to you, though. That's something you'll have to get used to. I'm not. It seems to now auto-populate the top end with the most popular parts. I don't know if I like that or not. But I don't know.
Wow. So apparently, one of the biggest changes that they made was that now the community has the ability to create its own build guides, whereas
Ooh.
previously only the PC part picker staff could create build guides. So now I guess anyone can go and create and publish a guide. So that's kind of neat, if you think about it.
Here's another good thing: ability to reorder completed build images. So if you build one for a customer, and you need the exact same thing for the next guy, or he wants another one for like a small business, bam, just reorder all at the same time.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, definitely.
Just as a side note, I have my rig up here on screen, and it has currently cost me $3,223.
Wow.
Ballin'.
That's so that's what you've purchased over the last what, year and a half or a year or something?
One or two of these
I
parts
forget.
is old. I think the SSD was purchased in 2012, I want to say. And
Yeah, okay.
the keyboard and mouse that I'm using at the moment were purchased in 2013 for my AMD build that I built in that year. But everything else has been purchased in 2014, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
And if you think you
Dude,
can't build a PC on a budget, you just don't have a budget, because you know how much I made last year? 7K.
wow. You made 7K and you built this computer for pretty much almost half of your entire yearly income?
Yes.
Holy shit balls. You know how to
S-
budget.
So
I don't
it,
even work, and
You're
I have a
budget
nice
like a
computer.
boss.
You gotta just
Y-
budget. He's right.
if
Yep.
if you are making 15, 20K a year and you can't afford
And you tell
a
yourself,
balling
yeah,
computer,
I can't, yeah. Then you're doing it wrong.
you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Go get
Yeah.
a
Don't get
smaller apartment. Go get a car with a
Get
lower
rid of
car
cable.
payment.
Yep. Right. Just all the things.
Negotiate your dumbass mortgage
Get-
down from 10%.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do
Do
something little.
something. Cancel the
Right. Right.
cable.
Yep.
Because you got the internet, you got
Cable
YouTube, you
cutting.
don't need cable.
Yeah.
Especially if you're single. There's no reason to have cable.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, we could have a whole show just dedicated to cable cutting talk. I would go on and on and on about cable cutting talk
Just don't
as
cut the
far as
internet.
cable TV. Well,
Don't cut
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Don't ever do
Don't cut the
that.
internet.
Don't ever cut that line. No, no,
Hey,
no.
hey,
That's the
cable
wrong
man, where you
line to
going with
cut.
my internet modem?
Yeah.
Bring your ass back
Get
here.
back here. Yeah, get that back here. So, all right, that kind of wraps up the hardware segment of the show, and that was, I thought, excellent. I'm thrilled that it went as well as it did. That's big shout or thanks to Osiris for finding the ASRock USB 3.1 information, and then Atomic finding the Acer with the new FreeSync monitor and the PC part picker list information. So, getting into finally this week's topics, the big one that I think is just awesome news is that Crytek, they announced a while ago that they were working on the Cry engine for Linux. And it was the all the talk back then when they originally announced that. I remember, at least it wasn't in my scene. It was, hey, oh my gosh, Crytek's talking about CryEngine on Linux, and Rise might come to Linux, or Crisis series might come to Linux, and then it just kind of fizzled away. It was like a balloon that kind of flew around the room and then it just fell to the ground. I was like, what the fuck happened? Well, here it is. Apparently, Crytek will be at Game Developers Conference in March. It's GDC 2015, and it's being held in, I want to say, San Francisco. I may have that wrong. The location's neither here nor there, but Crytek will be there, and they're going to be talking about um, basically CryEngine on Linux. You're going to be able to witness a brand new VR demo powered by the CryEngine, and witness Crytek's technology at work on an Android-based system. Um, and on top of seeing that, I guess there's other stuff that they're showing off, in regards with the PS4, the Xbox One, and stuff like that. But apparently, you can learn about this new CryEngine sandbox, which is the ultimate multi-platform tool set, which, when you think about it, is a pretty big deal, because there's not many game engines out there that are multi-platform. We have Unreal Engine, which is pretty much multi-platform, I believe, and this is a great game engine in my opinion. If you look at Crysis, it can bring the most beastly computer to its knees, because of it's almost not even like a game. It's more of just a graphical demo, like prettiness type thing. But I mean, I think the game was. I loved Crysis 3. I played the shit out of it. I mean, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see probably 40, 50 videos of just Crysis 3. I played it on console, so I didn't even play it on PC. That was before I switched over. But I had a blast playing the game. It's just sad that the community, the gaming community, just, at least on console, kind of, they played it and then they were done with it, and they moved back to Call of Poopy. I mean, I used to be a Call of Duty fanboy, I'll be honest. And you know what Advanced Warfare reminds me of? Crysis 3. you got the ability to kind of jump up higher with the jetpack on your back. You got the ability to slide. All the stuff that's in Crysis 3 is in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Anyway, that was a short rant. I apologize. But so this is exciting news. Crytek will be at GDC 2015. If you're a game developer, make it. I wanted to go to GDC. I did. I wanted to go. As soon as I looked into the price and it was $1,000, I was like, okay, not going. Maybe another year, but I can't make it to the show. It's too expensive for someone like me. But it is coming up. It's March 4th through 6th. And, I'm sure shortly after that, or even on that day, we'll be able to learn more about the CryEngine running on Linux. I mean, that's excited. Are you guys excited? Come on, get excited.
What games are on the CryEngine other than Crysis?
Rise, Son of Rome.
I'm about to tell you that in just a second. But in the meantime, if they can get the Frostbite engine also, I think we pretty much wrangled up all the major engines, or AAA engines maybe. And this is a good thing, not because of backporting. Backporting, I think, was just a stopgap. Definitely the future of Linux gaming can't be backporting. So this is great because future games will be using this. I think they also did it because, like you said, now they can move into the mobile market also with the Android and NVIDIA Shield type stuff. But the games that is used with CryEngine are games like Rise, Son of Rome, Warface, Crysis 3, Crysis, obviously all the Crysises.
Yeah.
Hordes of the Gilded Age, never heard of. Arena of Fate.
I'll be honest. The only two real AAA titles would be Rise, Son of Rome, and the Crysis series.
Far Cry.
Okay, sorry, Far Cry. All right, the first one.
For some reason, wasn't advertised on our page. But Arcade, which is a currently popular game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Arcade is. But that was the remake of Nexus, not the Linux one, the one that was put on Windows and 360.
Oh, Nexius. Okay, I call it Nexius, but I know what you're talking about. That game. What was its name before that? It had a different name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's all right. Someone in the chat probably will fill us in. I forget what it was.
State of Decay, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, and let's see, 4th Generation 1. Star Citizen is using. It says Star Citizen. I didn't know that Star Citizen was using the CryEngine.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, son.
But they already announced Linux support a while ago, so maybe they knew something we didn't know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that I think that's. Oh no. Evolve. Evolve is a CryEngine game.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should round out all the popular games.
All right. Right. Cool. I mean, this is exciting times, people. I think that, when big engines or, and actually Crytek had some financial issues for a while. They were they had an article released last year sometime that basically said more or less that there's no money anywhere, and they're not doing well at all, and their shareholders are mad, or I don't remember it. I mean, it doesn't matter, but they were in a little bit of financial bind. So this could maybe be the rejuvenation,
I don't,
to get them back up, and you know what I mean.
I don't think that was a total company. There was a division, and I think it was like the UK division that was having major.
You are right. Yeah, I think you were right. That does ring a bell. Now that you say that, you're right.
But yeah, you're right. This is definitely a future big bonus for not just them, but Android and Linux and SteamOS. I think that a lot of people know a lot of things that we don't know because you can see like the ramping up of SteamOS support. I'm not going to call
Oh
it
yeah.
just Linux support because I don't believe they're looking at it that way, but it
Right.
helps us either way.
Yep. Yep. I mean, so that's the other thing. So just to, Crytek will be at the GDC. So will Valve. Valve is going to have Steam machines and Steam OS at front and center at GDC. That's the main reason I wanted to go, was because of the Steam machine and Steam OS. It's going to be front and center, quote unquote, front and center. And I mean, there's a ton of stuff that's going to be going on at GDC. I would love it if I could go there, because they're going to be talking about possibly the next OpenGL, um, you know, graphics library, GL Next. We talked about it in a previous episode for our show, either episode 24 or 23. But so GDC is going to be big. It's going to have a lot of information, a lot of great things. Hopefully, will come of it. And I look forward to March 3rd through the 5th. I believe that's what the date was, but basically beginning of March. All right. Well, our next topic we have is I think we don't have a person. Atomic, did you put this in, or did you, Cyrus? The number 2?
I put that in.
All right, go for it.
So, Paranautical Activity, which was removed from Steam a while ago, because one of the developers made a death threat against our Lord and Savior Gaben.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Well, said developer left the company, sold all his stake to his partner, and so now Paranautical Activity is back on Steam as the Deluxe Atonement Edition.
Wasn't it like $15 too the first time it came out?
Uh,
Or it was.
see, it's down to $9.99 and it's on sale for $6.99 right now. Yes. It said something about Friday the 13th. What was that? Oh, it came out Friday the 13th. So Paranormal Activity. I don't know if I did that one on as one of our game of the weeks. I might have to do it. It is a good game. It's just a shame that he had to have an idiot developer.
I don't think he was. Well, that is. I don't know if you. Let's not resort to name calling Atomic. Come on. But I mean, it was definitely not a smart comment. You don't just go and do that. Like, I don't care how sad or mad you are because Lord Gaben didn't do what you wanted. You just don't publicly do that. You do it privately.
And that's why
you
developers are usually in a closet with a
right,
computer,
exactly,
and
yes, and they're not. Right. All right.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
a roundabout death threat. It's like, I will kill Game Newell
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Right. No, I know. It was, yeah, it was just flat out.
I
Yeah,
would
it
call
was
that
flat
an
out.
idiot move.
Sure, whatever. Like I said, we don't need to. Everybody has their opinion on what transpired and what we'll call him, but let's just, yeah, we're done. We covered the topic. Paranormal Activity is back on Steam. Cool.
Yes,
And it's
Check it
actually
out.
good, I think.
Yeah.
From what
Okay.
I've heard. Don't you have it, Atomic?
I do. But
Maybe he'll cover that one week. Yeah.
but asking if I have a game on Steam is just a dumb question.
Yeah. Right.
That was my fault.
If the game is
all
on
right.
Steam, I have it automatically.
Jeez. Now I'm gonna have to find one to stump you and see that you don't have.
Well,
Alright.
just because it's in my Steam library doesn't mean I'll be able to talk about it.
Yeah, true. All right, so the next topic we have, and I don't want to go too far into this because it's something that's going to be not, shipped right away, but BQ is a Spanish company, a Spaniard company. I don't even know how to
Spanish.
deem it. Spanish company over in Spain that
That was
well,
kind of
not
redundant.
Mexico. No, they're not Spanish company.
Well, that would be
Spanish.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the BQ has their new Ubuntu phone, and it's called the BQ Aquarius E4.5 Ubuntu edition, and I think we covered it last week or 2 weeks ago, but I just wanted to reiterate or inform you guys that they do have already videos on their BQ YouTube website. I don't know if Atomic's playing one right now on the stream. If he scrolls down a little bit, he can see one of the videos, and maybe fast forward through it just to show you what the video kind of is going to be about. It's just basically a technical type video, and it is in Spanish. I tried watching it earlier today, and I was like, okay, I don't speak Spanish, bro. Come at me. And she's kind of hot, though. I'll be honest. Victoria, come over here and sit on my lap.
Yes.
So Ubuntu phone, it is a thing. It's being released in a few European unions, and I am hopefully getting one. Hopefully.
Now, clarify this for me, and I guess everybody else. Is this the one that is going on those weird ass flash sales, or is this the one that
Correct.
is?
It's going on weird ass flash sales. Yep. And they already had one flash sale last week that we missed. We didn't get a phone
So-
at that flash sale.
The other one, the other phone, I think that's coming out of China or whatever in the not too distant future.
Yes.
Why would you buy into the flash sale when the other one is coming out on not a flash sale and it's a better phone?
Because this is the very first one ever.
Hmm.
I know that's maybe not a reason you would buy it, but that's a reason I would buy it.
Even if
It's
the other one
only-
comes out next month.
I'm guessing the other one that's going to be better is going to be more expensive.
Oh, yeah, of
And
course.
my
Not too much more. It's
I
a
bet you
mid-grade
it's
phone. It's not. It's a mid-grade phone. It's not even. It's not like a Galaxy level phone. Samsung Galaxy.
okay.
Or iPhone level phone. It doesn't have those type of specs. It's probably as good as the phone I have right here, which is an LG L9. So mid-end Android type device, if you wanted to compare. So those would go for like what? What's a mid-end brand new phone go for? 3?
300-400. Yeah.
How much is this phone?
169 euros.
Oh no.
So that's about a $200 phone.
$200 phone. There you go.
And
And the hardware, apparently, I've been told the hardware is on par with, I believe he said, a Galaxy S4, except for the display. The display, unfortunately, is only 540 by 960, I think he said. Or I think it says.
I'm about to pull up these specs right now because that's hard to believe that they're selling that for 160 and it'd be on
Euros.
oh, look at
Yeah.
that! Look at that logo and that desktop background in the background.
Yep. Ubuntu background app, desktop or whatever.
I like that with all the penguins around
It's
it.
Yeah, that
it's
is
a
kind of
core,
neat. It's like a fire pit. Yep, that is neat.
it's a Cortex A7 quad core with
Correct.
5.2 gigahertz, 5-inch screen. It's not terrible. No, I wouldn't say that. It's pretty good. It's decent.
Yeah.
I, I'm
Now,
just
you know,
skeptical when the price is too good to believe. That will always
sure.
be a thing.
And look at how neat it is. I believe it has multiple SIM capabilities. So it's
Well,
not just locked you into one SIM. I think it's 2 different SIMs, I believe.
probably so it can be a world phone.
Right, exactly. I think. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, so I just wanted to let everybody know that, if you're interested in seeing the Ubuntu phone in action, BQ has a bunch of videos on their YouTube channel already showing you it in action. But stay tuned because if I get this and it gets sent to me, you will see firsthand, you know, uh, review of it. You'll see usage of it. You'll see tips, tricks, whatever, of the first Ubuntu phone ever. So hopefully that happens for me. I'm not holding my breath. I'll just say that. And if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, moving on. So
And
that's kind of where I stand with that.
just a point there,
It's
the correct demonym for the people of Mexico is Hispanic.
Hispanic. Okay, thank you for correcting my demographic terminology.
I
And
believe that they have had Spanish imported.
Okay,
It's not
so,
an original
sir,
cultural language.
gotcha.
definitely not. But to correct a mistake I made, I was looking at the Aquarius E5. This is the E4.5, and it is still a quad core Cortex A7, but it's 1.3 with a Mali 400.
Yeah, GPU.
Yeah, 400
Which
up to 500 megahertz GPU.
which happens
Yep.
to be the same GPU that is in my Aspen tablet.
Oh, and how's that?
Uh,
I mean, we already know it's not. Yeah, this isn't blow you out of your socks hardware here.
it's a
I mean,
$40 tablet.
Yeah.
It's a dual
Right.
core.
Th-
It
Okay.
chugs.
Yeah. So, the point, I think the point of this phone, it's not to, your $600 hardware right away. They need to prove the market. They need to prove that consumers want this device or want Ubuntu Mobile.
Well, that's why
So
you
why
make a
would they-
$600 device.
No,
Yes.
wrong. That is
No.
not smart business. I can
Yes, it
tell you
is.
right away.
You always
Yes.
you always target the
Look at
people that
Apple.
got the money.
Yes, look at Apple. They make nothing but $500-$600 phones, and they continue to rape the market with selling.
Now
out
they do.
No, when they came out, it was instant.
Yeah.
Apple didn't have no ramp up. They just instantly blew phones. And remember, this was before there was even a smartphone. So who even knew that they wanted a smartphone till Apple released this stupidly expensive phone and said you wanted one, and then everybody went out and bought one. And then
All right. Well, obviously,
Android
I'm
didn't
not.
get popular until they started releasing flagship phones. They came out
Right.
with the G1 first. I had the G1, very mid-range meh phone, and when
Yep.
and then when they got HTC on board to release the Nexus, bam, here comes Android. This is going to be a phone that introduces them, but I believe that the next one, I don't think I could say the name to the next one. Some Chinese stuff, but the next one will be I think stomping and proving ground for Ubuntu.
Right. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. This first one, because they were actually working with Ubuntu is working with several OEMs, and Mizuo, or I don't know how to pronounce their name. There it is,
Yeah,
Mizu. They are also working on a Ubuntu phone that I thought was going to be released before BQ's, but BQ has come to the market first. And it's also kind of interesting how they're doing this sale. It's this weird flash sale. It's not, you can't just go to a website and buy it. I don't think you have to literally get to a location, stand in line, give them your money, and then walk away with the phone.
They're selling it online, but flash sale style online.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And yeah. Sorry. But the reason they're going to do that is because for public perception reasons. If you have a flash sale, you sell everything out within minutes. You get to go to the reporters and the media and be like, "Bam! Look, we just sold out.
We sold
twice
out
today.
in 10
We're
seconds,
so
right? Yeah,
freaking boss."
right.
That's why companies would do flash sales like that, just to get the brand and the name out there and
Sure.
have something to talk about. Yeah,
Yep.
like Embo said, the best way to create demand is limited supply.
Right on. Yep. I mean, that's business 101, you know. If you have something that people want, or if there's not a demand, you create the demand by creating a limited supply. Perfect. Boom. So, all right, that was it. I didn't want to go into it super far, even though we did, but hopefully I get a new Ubuntu phone. And in the meantime, I'm possibly purchasing a Samsung Galaxy S3 from a fellow YouTuber for $50. Is that worth it? Is an S3,
Hell
you know,
yeah,
without any cracked
$50.
screen? Okay, all right,
As long
that's what I
as it
thought.
has a clear
Yep.
number, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right. I think we're.
It's more
let's,
powerful than this phone, I think. For $50.
Do you want to skip? Which one do you want to do? Oh, Cyrus, number 4 or number 6?
Let's see here.
Because I already talked
Number
about
4.
5.
Number 4.
You'd rather do 4? Because I think we should just do one more topic. That's my opinion. Unless you want to do them both.
If we can
I'm
get-
free. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm free.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, but
Okay.
number 4 is more gaming related, while the other one is gaming related, but on a different note.
Sure. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Well, Strength of the Sword Ultimate is coming to Mac PCs and Linux. If Atomic would bring up the video or something like that, there you could see kind of what kind of game this is. It is also coming to the PS Vita, Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One. So the fact that a game that is being brought to major platforms and Linux was also involved means something about the current atmosphere of gaming and how Linux stands in it. So it's no longer, hey, those guys over there will now included. This was a crowd-funded game, I believe, a Kickstarter game, I mean, and it's a pretty cool, like, fighting style, like old. Well, they say quote unquote old school fighting style type game, but it is in 3D. It's not one of those 2D side to side fighting games, and it should be out. I don't see that soon. I don't know.
There you go.
Soon.
To be released soon.
Well, there's a link to the Kickstarter page there at the bottom, and they were going for 14,000 and got nearly 40,000.
Wow.
Wow. Almost quadruple. Yeah, almost quadruple what they were going for. Holy cow. That's awesome.
We don't
But-
have any fighting games that I know of. so
No,
this is-
I don't.
this is so
Yeah,
cool.
I don't think so, man. That's cool. I was huge. I mean, that's how I started getting really into gaming and actually going to arcades and playing Killer Instinct and Tekken and Street Fighter. I mean, I would go to a ski hill and go downhill skiing, and then, you know, when you'd want to warm up for a minute or get some hot cocoa when I was 12, 13 years old, I would go in and play Street Fighter 2, you know, and be like Ryu or Ken and be like, "Aruki!" and just like be launching the fireball or doing the spinning kick in the air. I mean, man, those fighting games just got me so addicted to the all the ultra. Remember the ultra combo? You know, when you would finish someone off, and then the whole Mortal Kombat, and oh my God, I could talk forever about freaking fighting games. Holy cow!
You see this, what they got for funding goals here. The game will also come on PS Vita at 30,000, Wii U at 40,000, and PS4 and Xbox One at 100,000.
Wow.
Oh,
They need $100,000 to be able to put the game on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah,
Where's
that's
my
the
air
last
horn?
piece of licensing for Xbox. I know. I'm
where's
not
my
sure.
air horn?
But if you're a game developer, you better have some money if you want to put something on Xbox.
What the heck? Tech Torrent says he feels like he doesn't have a childhood anymore. I don't know why. Did I just ruin it or something? I don't know.
Spoilers.
What,
Oh,
how,
spoilers? Okay.
I don't know.
how did we rape your childhood?
Yeah, how did we rape your childhood this time? This episode. Just kidding. Oh man. Hey, do either of you guys know this Trey person in the Mumble server? He,
Uh, yeah,
he's. Oh,
yes,
you do? Okay.
yeah. He's in our circles in Twitter.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was like, this person's just been sitting at this main level server. You know, he's not in any channels. He's never moved. He's never talked. So I just wanted to check with you guys.
Yep, yep.
But all right. Okay. So the next topic we have is our last one for the week, and you didn't because he didn't play Street Fighter and he didn't run around and wave his arms like Ubu.
If you was playing Street Fighter, you was probably slamming your controller against something.
Right, right, or throwing it at the TV. Yeah,
Throwing it at your little
those.
brother next to you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I still have a Super Nintendo controller that rattles, and it's cracked in the center, like right next to the start button.
I know this is gonna make me sound old, but
Look at, I
they
even
just
have
don't
one
make
right
'em
here.
like they used to.
Right? I have one right here. Check it out, you guys. This is a Super Nintendo controller. This is what they used to look like, bros. This is console gaming, or
Super
like
Nintendo.
you could just, oh my gosh, it was just, oh. This brings back so many memories just holding it. It's so small.
What?
And the Nintendo controller was even smaller, and it was rectangular, no rounded shape at all. And there was only 2 buttons, people. We only had A and B. Get on my level, bro.
Man, that Atari though, it had one joystick and a
One
button.
Yeah, yeah, 1 button, right. Yeah, that's right. I had that as well. Well, I had the Texas Instrument thing that had a paddle that had this like weird 9 buttons, 3 columns and 3 rows, and then it had a weird paddle joystick thing on it for doing Pong and Space Invaders and all those types of games.
What were the 9 buttons for?
Wait, what is he talking about? This is not a Super Nintendo controller. This
You don't
is
know
a
what Super Famicom is?
No.
Super Famicom was the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo.
Was it?
Yeah, it was called Super
Well,
Nintendo.
It says right on it, Super NES controller. So
Yes.
it's model number.
It
You
was
want the model number, Glog? I'll give it to you.
it was the Super Nintendo in the U.S. and the Super Famicom in Japan,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and the NES was the Famicom, of course.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know if he knows that in the United States it was called the Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's what he's. Okay, that could be why. Yeah. So we got our last topic here, and it is Osiris is going to inform us how you can turn your life into a game.
Yeah, so I came across this while looking for gaming information, and this is the weirdest thing I thought. So I was like, man, we got to talk about if you are the type of person who organizes your life, like you have goals. I don't know why you'd have those, but and you actually like do to-do lists, and you actually like organize all that stuff, whether it be on your smartphone, on your computer, or like on a yellow sticky pad.
Scratch pad, whatever. Yeah, whatever you do. Yeah.
You might enjoy doing that with this thing called Habit RPG. What it does is it makes to-do lists and daily to-dos and puts them into like a RPG, like MMO, World of Warcraft, or whatever type style. And when you complete your to-do list or your dailies or your habits or whatever it is, like say if your goal was to stop smoking, if you say you want to do 1 less cigarette per day, and we'll call that a daily. If you complete that, you get rewards. You can possibly get like gear and other stuff like in an MMO RPG, same type of thing.
Damn, really? That's kind of neat.
Yeah, and of course, this type of thing would not be good. It wouldn't work without community.
Mobile. Oh, and community, sure.
So with the community, that would give you more incentive, because the whole reason you would get better gear and better other things and pets and all that stuff is so that you can show them off. So it has a community also, which gives you the incentive to gear up. So you want to get high level. You actually level up and all that stuff. So if you're the type of person who likes to set goals and organize your life and to-dos, and you want to make it fun, you should check this out. Now, you did say mobile.
Yeah, I just
checking.
installed it. I just installed it on my iOS device.
Live
Yep.
and on the fly.
Yeah, live and on the fly.
There is an
Not
Android version
iFly.
too.
Not iFly, because we don't want to get confused with the guy that got caught holding his dick in his hand.
What?
Well, those of you that don't, some of you probably don't know that, but there was a Call of Duty YouTuber that was caught on ChatterBait with his dick in his hand, and the pictures were all over the internet.
Wait. First
Yes.
of all, you don't get caught if you're
Well,
on Chatterbait because you was already
he was already on. Yeah, you were already chatterbaiting, right? Well, he was in the military, and he got dishonorable discharge, and all this bad shit happened to him. I'm surprised he didn't commit suicide, really.
Don't take life advice from us, people.
Right.
Not a good idea.
Or do take
Right.
life advice from us
Yeah. I
and suffer the consequences.
Atomic gave you some good financial advice earlier, you know.
Right, that's true.
Now we're telling you to stay off ChatterBait.
Oh God.
Unless you want to get owned. If you want to get a meme created of yourself with your dick in your hand, you know, then go for it.
It happens.
All the power to you. Only to those unlucky few. It does happen.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
a cockmongler happened to somebody.
Make sure that when your dick is in your hand, that there's no webcams and on you, and the lens is pointing at you, and the light is on. Okay.
Of course, you know there's no guarantees of that with the NSA around.
Oh, jeez.
This
Yeah.
is why you get you one of these and put it over it. Bam.
This is what I do. Yeah, I just take my little PAX East badge
Or you wear a
and I just
disguise.
cover it like that.
Here's my
See?
disguise.
So now my camera is black. You can't see me. And then I just move it out of the way. A disguise. Yeah, there you go. So nobody can tell it's Osiris.
Speaking of which,
Wait, where did Osiris go, Atomic? Did you see where he went?
I'm
I'm-
putting in from.
I don't know.
Who's this
There's
new guy?
there's this random rapper who took his place.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yes.
awesome.
By the
Alright.
way, these are 3D glasses, so everything is now magically in 3D.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Wait, I think I have my set right here.
These are the new swag.
trying to reach it.
The new swag right here.
Turd Slammer says you have a nice hat.
New York for the
Oh,
win.
here we go. Real 3D. Yeah, I'll put mine on too, Osiris. There.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Swag.
Oh, wow,
swag,
dude.
swag.
You guys are right in front of me. Cool. This is awesome.
He has a 19-inch 3D monitor.
All right. Well, all right. So the last, so that's it. Habit RPG. And I've been seeing a lot of chatter about that Habit RPG on Trello. If you're not familiar with what Trello is, it allows you to organize, anything, your life, an organization, a project, whatever, and it's free. If you're interested in joining Trello or looking into Trello, let me know, right now on the chat, and I will give you an invite link. And I'm telling you, it's allowed me to really manage a lot of different things, like managing a nonprofit organization for my ex, all the tasks that are involved with that. It allows me to manage, or at least try to, the Linux Tech and Gaming podcast. Atomic and Osiris and I are all part of the Linux Tech and Gaming project, quote unquote project. And there's tons and tons of tasks within creating a podcast that, a lot of you probably have no idea about, or some of you do have knowledge of what all goes on in the background, but there's a lot of stuff to do. And if you don't have it organized, you're just going to be a sporadic spaz like me. So I had to get Trello, or I had to get something to basically, organize everything and be able to keep track of it and be able to check stuff off and say it's done. And, it's a great software. It's free. It's open source. So
Habit RPG was written for you then.
it could be. Yep. It could basically allow me to have fun, with my life, with this Habit RPG. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to open it and see what it does.
Um, yeah. So
Habit RPG. So yeah, so right away, it looks like it's asking for a username and stuff, and a password. It says you need you
And
can log in and
Facebook.
register with Facebook. I'm not going to do that, but
I
you
find it
can.
funny that Habit RPG is using Trello to organize Habit RPG. What? Oh, okay. Well, they're not the same thing, anyways. I don't think they're. No, they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Who even
Blog made a
uses
comment that
Facebook
says
anymore?
that Trello is for lazy people to organize projects, and I would say that's incorrect because I don't consider myself lazy when you have, multiple projects that you're trying to organize and assign tasks to people and just get things done in an organized fashion. Some type of project utility uh, is needed for a person like me anyway. Maybe you can do it all in your head and you can keep track of everything and make sure you get all your stuff done, but me, I can't. It's too much for one person to get a handle on and get it all done on time and get it done in some fashion. So there's other software. I'm not saying Trello is the answer for everyone's problems. I'm just saying Trello is something that I found, and then that's how I found Habit RPG. That's all that I was trying to point out.
By the
So
way, Habit RPG is open source, and you can go get the code on GitHub.
there you go. See, that's yep. And so is Trello. I'm pretty sure. So that's gonna do it. I thought it was a pretty good show. We had some good feedback and chatter in the chat on Hitbox. I appreciate each and every one of you viewers. We enjoy doing this. Um, I think our first couple episodes had 0 viewers, and we did it because it's fun for us. We enjoy this type of stuff. We could probably even have some type of live audio show 24/7 that would be entertaining, and I'm not even lying. I'm sure there's some people in the chat that could vouch for that. But we're constantly always communicating, talking about gaming, talking about you know little tiny nuances of maybe this desktop um, system like KDE or XFCE or GNOME, or talking about Atomic's brand new 980 and how jealous I am and fuck him, and then talking about Osiris's new water cooling on his 780 and his case, and fuck him too. And I'm feeling left out.
He
I
said
don't
women
have the new
perverts with
hardware.
glasses.
So um we're here to do the show and have fun. That's the basis of it. We're Osiris told me one time, he said, Ubu, I want to do the podcast, but I don't want it to be a job. And I took that to heart because I think for a while I was starting to make it more like a job, and we were starting to kind of lose touch from just us three nerds getting together and talking about gaming and having fun. So, he kind of wrangled me back in, and we're back to, rocking and, having a good time and just informing you guys about various things related to gaming. So, again, thanks everybody for coming to the show. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you're interested in um, checking out the part 2 of the, I don't even know. I'm going to have to come up with an epic name for this thing. I don't even know yet. The server case, you can watch it live this Friday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Atomic, Osiris?
Yeah. I will be streaming probably tomorrow. This water cool and install some kind of way, maybe, I don't know. So just keep an eye out on Twitter at Osiris. If you don't know about that, just click the link that says player.me/Osiris and find the Twitter button. Bam, go to my profile. I'll try to stream it without making too much of an ass of myself.
That's Atomic's job.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
No,
that's
I'm
my
just
job.
kidding.
Well, I should be. The job that I'm working at looks like it's winding down, so I should be free in the near future. So I'll probably be streaming more, and I'll probably be getting back into my YouTube channel. So, yeah, click the player.me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my Hitbox, my Twitch, my Twitter, so you know when I'm streaming, all that good stuff. Click all three of the player.me's that you see there.
Yep, there you go. All of our player.me's are right there.
Or actually,
There you go.
actually, you can't do that on Hitbox or Twitch, so I'm going to have to put that in the YouTube thing. Little clickable links, if it'll let me.
There you go. I think I can do it for us on player.me/Ubuntu Addicted. I don't know if we locked this out of... I don't know, it worked. Or wait, I got to do HTTP, I think. Yeah. Anyway, click the links. You can see our Twitter handles. If you don't Twitter, that's fine. You know, however it is you want to be notified of when we stream. You know, you could follow us on the YouTubes, or you could follow us on the hitboxes. Each of us have our own hitboxes, I believe. Each of us have our own Twitches. Now, I don't generally stream to Twitch, but, you know, I still have the Twitch there. And each of us have our own YouTubes, and we do have a Linux Tech and Gaming Google Calendar that Osiris and I are trying to clean up. And if we have a streaming schedule, like individually, each of us will put our days on there on the Google Calendar that will be on Linux Tech and Gaming's website. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. It's probably just the easiest way for people to know when each of us are live streaming if we have a dedicated schedule. Now, me, you know, I've had a dedicated schedule for a while now. It's 3 days a week. You can find that information out on my Hitbox, you know, right below the player. You can see my streaming schedule. So anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks again for everybody coming. And if you're interested in supporting the show, there is we have our hashtag that you can use, which is in the lower right corner. It's Linux T and G. Just hashtag it and make a tweet or make a Facebook or a Google Plus post or something if you want to mention it, our stream or a podcast, and you know, maybe mention something you enjoyed about it. That would be great. That's awesome support for us. You know, hop into our Steam group, Linux Tech and Gaming, join us, and you know, join the other community members. I think there's around 80 people currently, and it's growing daily. And you know, there's plenty of other ways to support us monetarily. I'm not even going to mention that, just because, you know, you guys are all awesome, and just being here is good enough support. So until next week, you guys have a great night.
Yeah, go join that Steam group. See y'all later.